From the campus of Wells College in Aurora, New York, it's Wells College Baseball on AMCC-TV as the Express hosts the Wildcats of SUNY Polytechnic Institute in the series finale, Game 3, after the Wildcats took the first two yesterday, the first by a score of 6-3 and the second 10-3, and we've got one 9-inning game to round out the series today. Wells comes into this one at 3-3, and the Wildcats at 2-0 after they played their first games of the season yesterday. On the mound for the Express is Mason Smith, the sophomore right-hander from Corning, New York. And this is the lineup for the Wildcats that he will oppose. Parker Wing, the grad student, and the shortstop leads it off. Ryan Pelton manages the hot corner and hits second. Carter Romansky is the pitcher. He's also hitting 3 for the Wildcats. Ethan Walker is the first baseman doing the cleanup. Ethan Marone in left field hitting 5th. Brody Liddy in right field hitting 6th. Anthony Venturi is the catcher behind the plate hitting 7th. Kurt Johnson hitting 8th in center field, and rounding out the order, Derek Menachino. He's at second base, and as we mentioned, Romansky on the mound. He will DH for himself as well. And Mason Smith getting the nod for the Express. Coming off his sole start of the year versus Canton last Saturday, and it was stellar in his first start of the season. 6 innings, 1 run on 5 hits with 3 strikeouts. And a great outing for Smith. He gets the nod in his first home start of the season after he pitched in 12 games last year in 21 innings, as Wing will step up to the plate. At the belt, Smith winds and deals. First pitch, he's a breaking ball low and away, and we are underway in this series finale here from Aurora. Wing went 1 for 7 in his first 2 games with the Wildcats last season as he takes that one off the elbow guard. Fastball runs inside, and a hit batsman to start off this ball game as you put Wing in the speed threat on first base.
Now to bat for SUNY Poly, number 15, Ryan Pelton.
Saw 5 different hit batsmen in yesterday's game. Games, I should say, between the pair. As Ryan Pelton steps up to the dish. Had a huge RBI triple in the Game 2 victory for the Wildcats last time out. Swings and fouls the first pitch fastball over the netting behind home plate and out of play. Wing off first base with good speed. The grad transfer from Cazenovia as Pelton, the sophomore, in from the right side. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, swing and a miss on the outer third. Makes the count 0-2. Pelton went 2 for 7 in total between the 2 games yesterday with a pair of RBIs. Pickoff attempt over at first. Back with a dive. No tag applied. In the field, here's what it looks like for the Express. McLean Odom and Valinotti. That's Zach Odom in center field. On the infield, from left to right, James Campy, Max Odom, as well as the first baseman in Zach Young. Aaron Izquierdo doing the catching. Another pickoff attempt by Smith. But back with a dive, Wing again. No tag applied. Here's the 0-2 offering. Fastball upstairs. Makes it 1-2. Smith from Corning, New York. Attended Corning Painted Post High School. And the sophomore winds and deals. 1-2 breaking ball looped into right field. And going up to make the play is the second baseman in Max Odom. Was ranging out. And on the shallow blooper, goes out in shallow right field to make the play for out number 1.
Stepping up for SUNY Poly, number 14.
That brings up the pitcher for the Wildcats today. That's Carter Romansky, who had a huge first day of the season yesterday as he takes a breaking ball inside, in from the left side. 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs yesterday, including an RBI double and an RBI triple. We'll see him on the mound in the bottom of the frame. First, a pickoff attempt from Smith. That one closer than the prior, but back again with a dive is Wing, who's always a threat on the base paths. Clearly garnering the attention early on from Smith, who peers over, sets, and pickoff attempt again. No tag applied by Young. With plenty of time is Wing, as he leads off the first base bag. Smith comes home with the 1-0, and it's skied foul on the left side of the infield over the Wells dugout, of the Poly dugout, I should say, on the third base side and out of play. Smith comes home, 1-1. Fastball fouled down the left field line, out of play again. This time towards the parking lot. And it goes 1-2 now on Romanski. And we'll talk about it when he comes out on the mound, but he has had a stellar campaign now in his 5th season with the Wildcats on the mound. Pickoff attempt back at first, and back with a dive. Tag applied just behind the runner in Wing. Romanski was all region last year on the mound. Also with some good numbers at the plate, as the 1-2 breaking ball inside evens it up. Romanski hit .372 last year with 2 homers and 16 RBI in 31 games, and pitched to a .338 ERA. There's the 2-2 from Smith. Fastball, cold strike 3 on the outside corner. Romanski gets rung up looking, and the second out of the first.
Now up for the Wildcats, number 19, Ethan Walker.
It's the first strikeout for Smith, and the 4th on the season. There's a pickoff attempt over at first. Ethan Walker steps up, the junior first baseman for the Wildcats. First pitch he sees. He's lined on the left field line, foul, trickling towards the third base coach's box. Walker went 1 for 7 at the plate in total yesterday. Scored 2 runs, got an RBI on a sac fly. Oh, 1. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike on the outer half to make it 0-2. Looking to strand Wing over at first base after he was hit by a pitch on the 3rd pitch of this game. And Smith, another pickoff attempt before. Peers over at first. Sets. Delivers. 0-2 fastball just upstairs. Exact spot Izquierdo was set up. One-two first, another pickoff attempt. Back over at first, even with an 0-2 count, now 1-2 count and 2 outs. Smith paying close attention to Wing over at first. Smith gets the side from Izquierdo. Peers over at first, now comes set. Rocks and delivers. 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Runner goes. And Izquierdo took him a second to corral that baseball. So that's a stolen base for Wing. There it is. Probably a dozen pickoff attempts later. And swipes the second base bag, a runner in scoring position, and a 2-2 count. As Smith peers over at second, steps off the bag. Steps off the rubber, I should say. And looks Wing back to the second base bag. Now hops back on the bump and sets. Now fires the 2-2. Breaking ball slashed out to deep right center field. Valinoti giving chase towards the wall. That's going to one-up the wall. Scoring easily from second base is Wing. Up at second base is Ethan Walker with an RBI double. And the Wildcats strike first in the top of the first. It's 1-0. And that stolen base paying dividends
Power
too.
for SUNY Poly, number 3, Ethan Marone.
You probably imagine Wing scores no matter what on that double to the right center field gap. But cruised in home easily. As the first pitch fastball called strike on the outside corner to Ethan Marone. And Walker with the huge RBI double to get Pauly on the board. 0-1. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. At the top of the inside corner, it's 0-2. Yet again, one pitch away from getting out of a runner in scoring position jam is Smith. Izquierdo sets up on the outer third. Here he comes. 0-2. Make it 1-2. Fastball outside. Looking to get Marone to chase. Marone had a 2 RBI double in Game 1 yesterday for the Wildcats. Here's the 1-2. Fastball low. Evens it up. Had 3 total RBIs on the day. All coming in Game 1. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, rope foul down the right field line, out of play. Smith in some early trouble here in the first. Here's another 2-2 offering. Fastball skied on the right side of the infield, shallow right field. Odom goes out, coming in is Valinoti. It's going to drop between them. Wave around third, coming home, standing up is Walker. Bloop single. Dropping in shallow right field, counted as an RBI base hit for Ethan Marone. And a 2-0 lead for the Wildcats here in the top of the first. That'll bring Brody Liddy up to the plate. The freshman who made his collegiate debut in Game 2 yesterday and had a pair of RBIs, including a clutch late RBI double. As Smith rocks, delivers. That one skied on the right side of the infield, foul territory. Giving chase is Young, and that'll make it out of play behind the fencing, about 30 feet beyond the Wells dugout on the first base side. Liddy had a 2 RBI double in Game 2 yesterday. In the 5th inning, a 4-run 5th inning that was for the Wildcats. Pickoff attempt over at first. And Marone back up standing. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. And for the third straight batter, Smith is 1 pitch away, 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Can he get it done this time? Smith sets, delivers. 1-2, breaking ball, waved on and missed in the dirt on the outside part of the plate for strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Smith, but 2 runs come across the top of the first for the Wildcats on the RBI double by Walker and the RBI single by Marone. 2-0 is the score, as Wells will look to get some vengeance in the bottom of the first. On the mound, as we talked about for the Wildcats, it's going to be Carter Romanski making his season debut on the mound after he had a 3.38 ERA last season in 37.1 innings, allowing only 14 runs. And on the mound today, the left-hander from Voorheesville, New York, and the grad student for the Wildcats making his season debut. And this is the lineup he will oppose for the Express. Max Odom leads it off. He's the second baseman. Zach Odom is in center field hitting second. Jacoby James, red hot to start the season, mans the hot corner and hits third. Aaron Izquierdo doing the catching in the cleanup spot. Zach Young, the first baseman, in the 5 spot. AJ Campy hits 6th at shortstop. Hitting 7th is Alan Compress. The designated hitter, John Valinoti, in the 8th spot in right field. And rounding out the order is Chris McLean, who gets his first start since the season opener against Clark Summit for the Express. Mason Smith on the mound had 2 strikeouts in an inning where he also allowed 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first. And a Wells team that has had a pretty strong offensive start to the season. As a team, they're hitting .307 with a .427 on base percentage. 42 runs scored in 6 games. But hitting was where they struggled yesterday. As they were limited to 5 hits in the first game and 10 in the second game by Pauly. Ventiri throws down to second base, completing the warm-up tosses for Romanski. And we are set in the bottom of the first. Max Odom in from the right side. Had a solo homer in game 1 yesterday. The first pitch he sees from Romanski well inside. Goes all the way to the backstop. On the fastball from the southpaw. Odom from Elmira, New York. With his identical twin brother, Zach, hitting just behind him in the lineup. 1-0. He's blasted out to deep right field. Liddy going back towards the warning track, and he makes a tremendous over-the-shoulder catch just in front of the wall. Great play by the freshman Liddy in right field to rob extra bases from Max Odom, and that's out number 1. So it will be the twin of Max, Zach, stepping up to the plate. In from the right side. He's had a tremendous start to this season. First pitch he sees gets a piece on it off the glove of Ventiri. Odom hitting .417 with a .983 OPS through 6 games to start the season for Wells. 0-1. Breaking ball slips away. Up and away. And makes it 1-1. Odom with 3 stolen bases as well on the season. 1-1 offering. Breaking ball sits back on it, clocks it into deep left field. Towards the foul pole, ranging to his right is Marone, and he will make the play for out number 2. So Max and Zach with 2 well-hit balls to left and right field. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first, and Jacoby James steps in from the right-handed batter's box. As Romanski, the southpaw, sets, fires, first pitch to James, in there for a called strike. In the outfield from left to right for the Wildcats, it's Marone, Johnson, and Liddy. On the infield, Pelton at third, Wing at short, Menachino at second, Walker at first, with the freshman behind the plate and Anthony Ventiri. And 4 freshmen in the lineup for the Wildcats. As the 0-1 to James. Breaking ball spits on it, low and in to go 1-1. James, he's hitting .522 with 10 RBIs to start the season, leading the AMCC in batting average and second in RBIs. Swings and misses, falls all the way to the ground on a big hack, 1-1. Tried to sit back on the breaking ball. Gets sent to the ground by Romanski, and it's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball takes it inside by the kneecaps on the curveball from Romanski. It's the primary off-speed he's utilized early. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swing and a miss for strike 3. A perfect 1-2-3 inning with 1 strikeout for Carter Romanski in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second. 2-0, Pauly on top. Back in the top of the second on AMCC TV. Pauley on top 2-0 against the Express. Mason Smith back on to work. Got his first 2 outs quickly in the top of the first, and then a pair of RBI hits from Ethan Walker and Ethan Marone with 2 outs. Put Pauley on the board. They lead 2-0. And leading it off is Anthony Venturi, the catcher, takes the first pitch, called strike on the fastball from Smith. Makes it 0-1. Here's the pitch from Smith. Roll on the left side of the infield. It's the shortstop, Campy. Throws across the diamond. The stretch from Young. And in time for a quick out number 1. Parker Wing started off the game for the Wildcats by being hit with a pitch on the third pitch of this game. Then 2 quick outs, thanks to Smith, a strikeout and a flyout. And then RBI double from Walker, RBI single from Marone. Put Pauley on top. First pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike to Kurt Johnson. Talked about it a moment ago, but 4 freshmen in this lineup, in addition to 2 sophomores, and a pair of grad students and a junior. So a very young lineup sported by the Wildcats. Breaking ball low and away. And Coach Ludden ahead of the season for Pauley even said it could take some time to get this team's feet under them. 10-15 games is how long it usually takes, he said, a freshman class to get themselves settled. As the 1-1 skied back out of play. Goes foul. But early results from this Wildcats team after outscoring Wells 16-9 yesterday. Breaking ball, laced on the left side of the infield, chopped and foul. Just to the right of the third base bag is where the third baseman, James, will pick it up. Count stays 1-2. The Express limited to 9 total runs on only 15 hits between yesterday's 2 games. There's the 1-2. Off speed inside. 2 homers represented 2 of the 3 runs scored by Wells in Game 1 yesterday. James had a homer as well as Odom. Max Odom, that is. 2-2. Off speed low and away. Count goes full. Here comes the 3-2. With 1 out, Smith kicks and delivers. Fastball is chopped on the right side of the infield as the second baseman, Max Odom, who picks it up, shuffles towards the first base bag, and throws onto first in time. 2 quick infield ground balls in the second for Mason Smith. And Derek Menachino, the freshman second baseman, digs in from the right-handed batter's box. Smith fires home the first pitch. Menachino showing bunt, pulls back, and takes it outside for a ball. Menachino started both games yesterday at second base for the Wildcats. Went 1 for 4 in Game 2 as he takes the fastball inside to go 2-0. Walked and scored a run in Game 1 as well. 2-0. Off speed, just outside for a ball. Curveball looking for the low outside corner. Doesn't get the call. And it's 3-0. Here it comes from Smith. And the fastball low for ball 4. Second free 90 allowed by Smith after he hit the first batter of this game in Parker Wing. As we see the top of the order for the Wildcats come up in Wing. Here it is. First pitch, fastball away. 5 straight balls. 4 straight, I should say, for Smith. Who peers over at first. Throws the pickoff attempt over to the first base bag. Back sliding is Menachino with some wheels for the 9-hitter. Here's the 1-0 to Wing. Breaking a ball in there for a called strike at the top of the zone. Makes it 1-1. Leading off of first is Menachino. Here's the pitch. Fastball away. Goes 2-1 now on Wing, who went 1 for 7 between the two games yesterday. Only one hit, but did score 4 runs, reaching on a fielder's choice and a pair of walks. Here's the 2-1. Fastball away, 3-1, and after 2 quick outs on a pair of infield ground balls for Mason Smith, he's looking to battle from behind to the count. Here's the 3-1. Curveball outside, ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks. And Ryan Stevens is going to walk out to the mound and have a conversation with his sophomore Wing. Ryan Pelton coming to the plate in a big-time power threat who had an RBI triple in Game 2 yesterday. Had a huge series against Wells when these two teams played each other last year here in Aurora for a 2-game set that Wells took both games. This time the Wildcats taking the first 2 in the doubleheader yesterday.
Number 15, Ryan Pelton.
Pelton, who flied out to shallow right field, and the second baseman Odom his first time to the plate. Steps in with runners on first and second and 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball, called strike right down the middle. It's 0-1. With Menachino off first, Wing off second, and 2 outs. The 0-1 is laced into center field. Odom coming in. That'll reach him on a hop. Down for a base hit. Throw home is not in time. Tapping on home plate, Menachino. RBI single for Ryan Pelton. 3-0 the score. And just as it did in the first inning, things unwinding a little bit for Mason Smith with 2 outs.
Number 14, Carter Romanski.
As we talked about, Smith got 2 quick outs in the first before an RBI double and RBI single. Put the Wildcats on the board 2-0. Same thing happening here. 2 quick ground balls to start off the inning, a pair of walks, then the RBI single from Pelton. Romanski takes the first pitch for a ball on the breaking ball. Here's the 1-0. Laced into deep left field towards the foul pole. McLean coming over, dives and makes a tremendous play. Chris McLean, full extension, laying out in front of the foul pole for a tremendous catch, which saves at least 2 runs from coming in and limiting the damage. RBI single from Pelton pushes 1 across for the Wildcats in the second. What a play for Chris McLean to end the inning. It's 3-0 Wildcats as we head to the bottom of the second. Back in the bottom of the second on AMCC TV. 3-0 the score with the Wildcats on top of the Express. And a diving catch by Chris McLean in left field to end the top of the frame. As the first pitch is chopped foul on the third base side by Aaron Izquierdo. An RBI single with 2 outs for Ryan Pelton, but then the next batter, Romansky, with runners on first and second, skied one down the left field line just in front of the foul pole, and McLean made a tremendous diving catch to potentially save 2 runs. Fastball catches the outside corner, makes it 0-2 on Izquierdo, who's hitting .381 on the young season. The Express backstop went 2 for 3 in Game 2 yesterday. The sole player with multiple hits on the day as he fouls the 0-2 down the right field line and out of play. Romansky, who's the one that flied out to left field to end the inning, fires home 0-2. Curveball just outside, makes it 1-2. Izquierdo coming off a big season last year for the Express where he hit .315 in 32 games. Skies this breaking ball into deep right center field, giving chases Johnson. That'll split the outfielders and roll all the way to the wall in the right center field gap. Izquierdo cruises into second base, standing up with the leadoff double in the bottom of the second. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Express after they went down in order in the first. So Izquierdo with their first hit of the game. And that brings up Zach Young. Young 2 for 16 on the young season. Takes a fastball upstairs to make it 1-0. Had an RBI, had a pair of RBIs in the first game of the season against Clark Summit. As the 1-0 is shot into deep center field. Johnson giving chase towards the warning track in dead center. Tracks it down about 10 feet in front of the fence. Izquierdo will tag easily from second to third. So Young gives it a ride out to deep center. Moves the runner over 90 feet, and Izquierdo for out number 1.
Now batting for your Express, number 9, A.J. Campy.
And that'll bring up A.J. Campy, the shortstop today for Wells. Yesterday, Zach Legaretta was the shortstop in Game 1. Didn't play Game 2. Mark Mabey was the shortstop, and he came out of the game with an injury in the 5th inning as the first pitch breaking ball rolled on the left side of the infield. Running from third to home is Izquierdo. The throw goes to first to get Campy. It's just in time. So that's going to be an RBI ground out for Campy. Great base running by Izquierdo to get a good jump and come home safely. 3-1 as the Express are on the scoreboard. Brings up Alan Compress with 2 outs and the bases cleared. First pitch to Compress is a fastball up and away. Compress getting his first start of the season. He's come in as a pinch hitter 3 times and is 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a single. Fastball just low for a ball. Makes it 2-0. Had an RBI single and a pinch hit opportunity in Game 2 yesterday to keep the Express hopes alive. 2-0. Breaking ball runs inside. Just missing the hands. And Compress with 3 clutch hits in pinch hit fashion, earning himself his first start of the season at the DH spot. Here's the 2-0. Is rolled left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman, Pelton, who picks it up in fair territory, throws across the diamond off balance, and in time. Very nice play by the third baseman, Pelton, just to beat Compress and retire the side. 1 run comes in on the RBI ground out from A.J. Campy after the leadoff double from Aaron Izquierdo. It's 3-1, Wildcats on top as we head to the third. Express get one back in the bottom of the second. It's 3-1 with Pauley on top as we head to the top of the third. And Ethan Walker, the first baseman, leads it off, digging in from the right side for the Wildcats against Mason Smith. Back on to work. First pitch, breaking ball is skied on the right side of the infield. Foul ground. Zach Young drifting over towards the Wells dugout. In front of the dugout, he reaches over the fence and cannot make the play. Just behind the Wells dugout on the first base side, where the fencing extends, only about 3 feet tall, reached over the fence, tried to make the play, and looks like it actually tipped off his glove. Could not bring it in. So 0-1 the count on Walker, who had a clutch RBI single coming with 2 outs back in the first, putting the Wildcats on the board. 0-1 is an off-speed dropped in there for a called strike on the outer third to make it 0-2. Walker's first RBI of the young season is the 0-2. Breaking ball sits back on it, shoots it to the left side of the infield. James, the third baseman, gloves it, then bobbles it, has to pick it up off the turf, throws on to first, and Walker in time. In all likelihood, that goes as an E5 on James. A hard hit ball in the 6 hole. He was ranging to his left, right next to the shortstop in Campy. As Marone digs in from the right side, takes a fastball upstairs for a ball. The two almost collided, so James kind of pumped the brakes, picked up the ball, but bobbled it a little bit on his way to the ground. As a swing and a miss on the fastball evens it up at 1. Marone with an RBI hit with 2 outs his last time to the plate as well. Rolls this one on the left side of the infield. Backhand play by the shortstop, Campy, who throws across the diamond, and it cannot be scooped by the first baseman, Young. Looked like Marone was going to be safe at first base either way with an infield single. A tough play in the 6 hole. Campy had to backhand it, threw across the diamond on a hop to Young, who couldn't corral it. And just like that, Mason Smith in a big-time jam with runners on first and second, no outs, and the dangerous Brody Liddy stepping up to the plate. Here's the first pitch to Liddy, shows bunt, drops one down just in front of home plate, foul. Couple inches to the left of the right-handed batter's box. Liddy went 1 for 3 in his collegiate debut yesterday in Game 2 of the doubleheader with a 2-run double coming in the 5th inning for the Wildcats. 5th inning where they scored 4 runs after they scored 5 in the 2nd inning on the way to a 10-6 victory. Dropping a bunt down again is Liddy. This one down the first baseline, foul, trickling towards the Wells dugout. And it's 0-2. Smith sets, peers over at second base, where Walker dances off the bag. Now comes home with the 0-2. And it's swung on and missed for strike 3. Third punch out of the day for Smith.
Number 27, Anthony Ventiri.
The second on Liddy is Anthony Ventiri. We'll dig in with 1 out now. Much needed first out of the inning for Smith, who steps off the mound and will give a long look to Walker back to the second base bag. Now steps back on the rubber, peers over at second base, and comes home. First pitch is fouled back to the netting behind home plate by Ventiri. The freshman backstop for the Wildcats grounded out to shortstop his last time at the plate. As Smith sets and delivers. 0-1 breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike. Gets the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Long pause. He sets. Izquierdo set up on the outside part of the plate. And here comes the 0-2. Off speed, just low. And a tick off the plate to make it 1-2. Good spot on the 0-2. Went with what looked like a changeup just low and away. A pitch on the black makes it a 1-2. Here's the curveball. It's grounded right back to the pitcher, who deflects it over to second base for 1, on to first for 2. That'll go as a 1-6-4-3 double play. What a play by the shortstop, Campy, to grab the deflection off the glove of the pitcher, Smith, on the line drive. The pitcher's best friend, the double play, gets the Express out of a jam in the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third, 3-1. Wildcats on top. Back in the bottom of the third, Pauly on top, 3-1, as John Valinotti leads it off for the Express in the bottom of the third. A jam being escaped by Mason Smith in the top of the frame, getting a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning after he was in an early jam after allowing the first two base runners to reach. First pitch fouled back out of play by Valinotti. And his first licks of the day, 0-1. Sits back on it, drives it up the middle for a base hit. Second hit of the day for the Express. Both have come in leadoff fashion after Izquierdo doubled in the second and came around to score on an A.J. Campy ground out. And the tying run comes to the plate in Chris McLean, who came in late as a pinch hitter or defensive replacement in both games yesterday. First pitch he sees is a fastball outside. Got to start in the first game of the season against Clark Summit. So his first start since then comes in Game 3 of the series versus the Wildcats. He takes a fastball just inside to make it 2-0 with Valinotti off first. As Romansky sets, peers over to first, fires, 2-0, bounces in the dirt. The catcher, Venturi, can't find it. Valinotti stays right at first base on the bag, though. And a 3-0 count on McLean with the top of the order and the dangerous twins of Max and Zach Odom awaiting. Fastball upstairs, and that's ball 4. So a leadoff single by Valinotti on a line drive up the middle. And then a 4-pitch walk to McLean. And Paul Ludden is going to take the trot out to the mound to meet with his pitcher and his infield. Brief meeting at the mound, and the huddle breaks with the game-tying run on first base, and he's got speed in McLean. And the dangerous top of the order coming up. Max Odom flew out to right field his first trip to the dish. Steps in. Here's the first pitch. It's grounded on the left side of the infield. Scoped by the third baseman, Pelton, with a very nice play. And he'll tag out the lead runner in Valinoti. So McLean to second. Odom reaches first on the fielder's choice. And now one out for Zach Odom. Odom had the solo homer in Game 1 yesterday. He's got 11 RBIs in 6 games on this season. And it's the first pitch. Breaking ball called strike on the outside corner. Those 11 RBIs on the season for Odom are the most in the AMCC. On the early start to this season. 0-1 fastball just outside. Zach hitting .417 entering today. As the 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by Venturi. Makes it 2-1. With McLean off second. And Max Odom off of first. Here comes the 2-1. It's grounded on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Menachino, picks it up, throws on to first for the out. As he was drifting to his left, decides to go the easy way. And 2 outs, but now with 2 runners in scoring position for the dangerous Jacoby James. Romanski, though, 1 out away from getting out of a jam after he allowed the first 2 batters of this inning to reach. The first Valinoti on the single, the second McLean on the walk. James struck out swing his first time to the plate, struggled with the curveball. This time, checked his swing. Doesn't matter, it's a called strike anyway on the fastball down Broadway. Is Romanski with runners on second and third and 2 outs. The 0-1 is grounded right side of the infield, and that's into the outfield, a line drive where the right fielder Liddy dives to make a tremendous diving catch and end the inning, stranding 2 runners on base. 1 runner left in the inning, and we'll head to the top of the 4th. Wildcats on top, 3-1. Back for the top of the 4th, 3-1, Pauley on top after Wells had a prime opportunity after the first 2 runners in the bottom of the 3rd got on base, a walk and a single, moved over to second and third with 2 outs. Jacoby James roped a ball into the right center field gap, and the right fielder Ryan Liddy made a tremendous diving play to rob probably a pair of runs that tie up this game in addition to extra bases. as Mason Smith rocks and fires. First pitch to Kurt Johnson is a ball outside. Johnson 0 for 1 with a ground out in his first at-bat. The 1-0 is a off-speed rope foul down the left field line and out of play over the fencing. Evens it up at 1-1. Johnson, the freshman center fielder for the Wildcats. As Smith rocks and delivers the 1-1. Is lined on the left side of the infield on a couple of hops to James. He backhands it just to the left of the third base bag in pretty much in foul territory is when he snagged that ball. It's a fair ball, though, over the third base bag, and an infield single for Kurt Johnson. Smith already a pitch count nearing 65. As Derek Medicino, the 9-man, digs in. Good speed off of first base, and Johnson, fastball outside, throw down to second base, runner going. And it is high and behind the runner. So a stolen base for Johnson, the first of his young career. Is the 1-0. Is skied foul down the right field line out of play. Makes it 1-1. Menachino with a runner on second base, and it's out the order looming for the Wildcats. Here's the 1-1. It's inside with the fastball. Both teams with some prime scoring opportunities these last two innings that got wiped away by great plays. As the 2-1 gets tied up, chops it right back to the pitcher in Smith, who throws over to first for out number 1. Scurrying over to third base is Johnson, so a runner 90 feet away now with one down.
Parker Wing.
Parker Wing in the top of the order steps up for the Wildcats. First pitch he sees, breaking ball low and away in the dirt, prevented from going all the way to the backstop by Izquierdo. Wing reaching base in both of his plate appearances, was hit by a pitch and scored in the first, then walked in the second. As the 1-0. Got a piece on it. Fouls it off of the mitt of Izquierdo to go 1-1. As Smith sets and delivers. Breaking ball in the dirt. Goes 2-1. Wing has scored 5 runs in the first 3 games of this season. I guess you could say 2 in 3 innings for the Wildcats. As he pops the 2-1 down the right field line out of play. After he scored in the first and had 4 total runs scored yesterday. 2 in game 1, 2 in game 2. As the 2-2. Off speed, gets a barrel on it, lines it to right field, where that'll reach on a few hops. Valinoti. RBI single for Parker Wing. His first RBI in a Wildcats uniform. Johnson taps on home plate, and the lead is extended 4-1 Wildcats.
Now batting for SUNY Poly, number 15, Ryan Pelton.
Brings up Ryan Pelton, who had an RBI single in the second. As the Wildcats now lead by 3. First pitch to Pelton, called a strike on the outside corner. As Smith now, the 72nd pitch coming. Here's the 0-1. It's blooped, got a jammed on it into shallow left field. McLean dives trying to make the play. He won't get there. Campy, the shortstop, runs all the way out to corral it after McLean just a few feet away from it. And almost another great diving play. Couldn't get there, so it'll fall on a bloop single for Ryan Pelton. Just got jammed on the inside part of the bat. And a weak lob out to left field as Romanski will step up. He's 0 for 2 with his strikeout and a flyout. With runners on first and second and one out. First pitch to Romanski off speed inside. Romanski was actually robbed of extra bases and probably some RBIs by McLean in left field his last time to the plate. McLean made a great diving play in front of the foul pole as Smith's 1-0. Off speed, sat back on, driven out to deep right field and foul. A long ways away from home plate. All it is a long strike. Makes it 1-1. With one out, here's the pitch. Fastball grounded on the right side of the infield. It'll be the first baseman, Young, who picks it up, will take it himself to the bag and step on first base for out number 2.
Next up for SUNY Poly, number 19, Ethan Walker.
Pelton and Wing move up a station. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Ethan Walker, who's 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch he sees. Breaking ball low and away. Walker with an RBI double to get the scoring started for the Wildcats. In the first inning, then came around to score on a Marone single. And had a ground ball single in the third on the infield, but was stranded at second base. Back-to-back balls to start off the AB. And Smith sets. Comes home with a 2-0. Breaking ball fouled off the Wells dugout on the first base side of the infield and out of play. Here's the 2-1. Fastball in the dirt, smothered by Izquierdo. Makes it 3-1 though. With Ethan Marone also 2 for 2 with an RBI on deck. Eight hits already in this one for the Wildcats. As the 3-1. Fastball low and away, ball 4. Seventh batter of the inning will come to the plate, as that is the third walk of the inning issued by Smith. And Ethan Marone, 2 for 2, RBI single in the first, single in the third, steps in, and the first base breaking ball looped on the left side of the infield to James, who'll take it the easy way and step on the third base bag for the third out. Bases are left loaded, but the side is retired on the fielder's choice. No runs, 1 run across, in the inning for the Wildcats, who now lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Back in the bottom of the fourth, a 4-1 lead for the Wildcats after they add one more to the tally on an RBI single by Parker Wing. In the top of the frame, it's going to be 4-5-6 due up for the Express, starting with the catcher in Aaron Izquierdo, who started off this second inning with a double and then came around to score on a ground out. The first pitch he sees from Carter Romanski is chopped on the left side of the infield. It'll be the third baseman in Pelton ranging to his left, picks it up, throws onto first in time for out number one. That's 5 straight now retired by Carter Romanski, who has been stellar, allowing only 1 run on 2 hits. Zach Young digs in from the right side against the southpaw Romanski now, as the first pitch is a fastball upstairs to Young, who gave the baseball a ride his first time to the plate on a fly ball to deep center field, the deepest part of the park, which was tracked down by Carter Johnson, as the 1-0 fastball called a strike at the bottom of the zone. Romanski gets the call on the black, and it makes it 1-1. As the pitch again, skied out to deep right center field, tracking it down towards his right, and back towards the warning track is the center fielder in Johnson, who makes a nice over-the-shoulder grab for out number 2, and a pair of quick outs for Romanski here in the bottom of the fourth. As the freshman A.J. Campy digs in from the right side, had the RBI ground out that scored Izquierdo back in the second. As Romanski sets, delivers, first pitch, sky down the right field line and out of play to make it 0-1. Campy is the sole freshman in this lineup. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida, he has come in and made a statement impact early, as the 0-1 fastball up and out to even it at 1. He's got 3 RBIs, make it 4 RBIs in his first 4 collegiate games. As the 1-1 is skied on the right side of the infield. Shallow right field now, drifting out Menachino, the second baseman, ranging back in shallow right, makes the play, falling to the ground on his back to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the inning for Carter Romanski. It's 4-1 Wildcats as we head to the top of the fifth on AMCC TV. 6-7-8 due up for the Wildcats in the top of the fifth. Leading it off is Brody Liddy, as Paulie on top. 4-1 in the top of the fifth. Mason Smith back out onto work, entering the inning with a pitch count of 82, as the first pitch is a fastball fouled off the backstop behind home plate to make it 0-1. Liddy's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs on the day against Smith, who's racked up 3 strikeouts. Breaking ball fouled down the right field line again. This time off the facing of the Wells dugout on the first base side. Makes it 0-2 on Liddy. one of 4 freshmen in this lineup for the Wildcats. And he is one of the names that Coach Paul Ludden has said impressed big time in the fall and in the preseason for Pulley, as the 0-2 fastball upstairs takes it. Kurt Johnson in center field was another name that Coach Ludden mentioned, who's made a couple nice plays defensively throughout the course of this series, as the 1-2 swung on and missed on the curveball. 3 strikeouts of Brody Liddy so far on the day for Mason Smith, who's racked up 4 punch-outs now with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Anthony Venturi, the catcher, steps up to the plate. From the right side, the first pitch Smith throws is a fastball on the outer third. A called strike. 4-1 Wildcats on top. Venturi splitting the catching duties, at least to start this season, with Will Orlando, another freshman, as a fastball outside makes it 1-1. The second base position with Menachino, as well as the catcher position between Orlando and Venturi, very much up for grabs, as the 1-1 is laced down the left field line. Backhand stab behind the third base bag by James. Picks it up onto first in time. Virtually from his knees on the backhand behind third base. Chucking it across the diamond, Jacoby James. What a play for out number 2.
Now in the box for SUNY Poly, number 6, Kurt Johnson.
And that'll bring up Kurt Johnson, the center fielder, but another great play by James, who's had a couple of web gems early on in the season, in addition to his all-conference player of the week performance last week. First pitch, a fastball low and away. As the 1-0. Curveball just outside. Goes 2-0. Smith has gotten through the first 2 outs of the inning quickly on a couple of occasions and then run into trouble. Looking to riddle that here. 2-0. Popped foul towards the Wildcats dugout on the first base side. Ball popping into the dugout. And Smith at the belt comes home. 1-1. Just low and out for a ball. He now sets, and Smith delivers. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner. And here's the payoff. It's skied into deep right field. Valinotti ranging back just a few steps before he settles under it for out number 3. Side retired. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th for Mason Smith. It's 4-1 Wildcats as we head to the bottom of the frame on AMCC TV. 7-8-9 due up for the Express here in the bottom of the 5th inning on AMCC TV. 4-1, Wildcats with the lead, and Carter Romanski back out onto work for Poly, and he has been excellent. 4 innings, 1 run allowed on 1 hit with 1 strikeout, and he'll face 7-8-9, starting with Alan Compress in from the right side against the southpaw Romanski, whose first pitch is skied into deep left field. Marone giving chase towards the wall. That'll one-hop the wall just to the right of the foul pole. On his horse is Compress. Wide turn around second base. He'll hold up right there with a first pitch leadoff double here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Express. Only the second hit allowed by Romanski on the day, the first of which was also a double off the bat of Aaron Izquierdo. And that brings up John Valinotti as Compress stays red hot. He's 4 for his first 5 to start off the young season for the Express, as the first pitch to Valinotti is a breaking ball low and away out of the hand of Romanski to make it 1-0. Valinotti hitting .455 in 4 games in the young season for the Express, who trail by 3 runs here as a fastball nips the outside corner for a called strike to even it up. Valinotti coming off a strong year last year on the offensive side with an OPS over 800 as he takes the 1-1, lines it to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Getting held up at third base is Compress after that one fell just in front of Liddy. Looked initially like he might be able to get there with a shoestring grab. Pulled up as it bounced right in front of him, so Compress got that late start. Got the stop sign at third base from Ryan Stevens, and just like that, after back-to-back hits, runners on the corners for Chris McLean in the 9-hitter who walked his first time to the plate. First pitch he sees from the lefty is up and out. Bounces off the glove of Venturi, the catcher. Goes all the way to the backstop. Throw home is not in time. Sliding in safely is Alan Compress. Takes home on the wild pitch. Romanski applied the tag. It was a close play, but sliding in just underneath the tag was Compress, and it is a 2-run ball game. 4-2, Wildcats on top, and a 1-0 count on McLean, who now represents the tying run. The 1-0 is skied out to deep center field. Got a lot of that one, and that'll bounce off the banks of the wall in dead center. Valinotti getting the wave around third, getting the stop sign at third will be McLean, and tapping on home plate is Valinotti, who scores all the way from first base. It's an RBI triple for Chris McLean, his first RBI of the season, and the game-tying run is 90 feet away for the Express here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-3, deficit cut to only 1, and you go to the top of the order, and the dangerous Odom twins, starting off with Max, the leadoff man. And that'll get some action over in the Wildcats bullpen down the left field line. As the first pitch to Odom takes a breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Venturi to make it 1-0 and keep McLean, who's got a whole lot of wheels on third base. McLean almost completely caught up to Valinotti on the base paths. As the 1-0, breaking ball dropped in there. Rather, just outside, Borderline pitch on the black with the curveball on the outside for Romanski, and it's 2-0 now on Max Odom. Here it is. Sky down the right field line and foul to make it 2-1. Max is 0 for 2 on the day with a fielder's choice and a fly out to right field. Entering today with a .238 average, but 4 RBIs in the season, 5 stolen bases in 6 games. He's had his presence. 2-1 from Romanski. Another breaking ball, this time low and in the dirt again, blocked by Venturi. And the count goes 3-1. Huge opportunity for the Express, who had some premier opportunities with runners in scoring position, couldn't capitalize earlier on. The 3-1 is a breaking ball that is lifted down the left field line and foul towards the parking lot here at the Wells Athletic Complex. And the count goes full 3-2. Romanski gives a couple of shakes to Venturi. Now sets, peeks over to McLean at third, out comes home with the payoff pitch. And that one is cracked into deep right field. Now ranging in is Liddy towards the foul line. Will it be enough to tag? McLean with a good start from third. The throw home is not in time. The sac fly from Max Odom ties this ball game 4-4 as Chris McLean uses the speed to come home safely just ahead of the throw. And that's only out number one. Now Zach Odom will head to the dish with the bases clear and one out. A 3-run inning already for the Express as Romanski's first pitch to the right-handed hitting Zach Odom is a breaking ball outside to make it 1-0. Romanski now sets at the belt with the tan glove, fires, and the 1-0. Grounded right up the middle for a base hit, squeaking through just on top of the base between the second baseman, Menachino, and the shortstop wing. And 4 of the first batters to come to the plate in the 5th have gotten themselves a hit. Now a runner on first for the dangerous Jacoby James, who was robbed of extra bases and perhaps an RBI back in the 3rd when he had 2 runners on with 2 outs. Pickoff attempt over at first as Odom back in standing. Odom with a whole lot of wheels. He's 3 for 4 on the base paths this season, swiping 3 bags in his first 3 games. Is James in from the right side. Romanski's first pitch is swung on and grounded towards the coach's box in the third base side of the infield and foul. James robbed of extra bases and RBIs in the 3rd. He's now looking for redemption with the go-ahead run for the Express on first base in the form of Zach Odom. Here's the 0-1 from the southpaw Romanski. Big wave and a miss on the curveball at the bottom of the zone. It makes it 0-2. James, the reigning player of the week in the AMCC, hitting over 500 on the season. Looking to keep that hot streak going. First, a pickoff attempt over at first. Back in standing is Zach Odom with no tag applied. As the southpaw Romanski peers in. Comes set with the ball in the tan glove at the letters. Now he comes home 0-2. Fastball away. No chase from James. It goes 1-2. James steps out of the box, resets the batting gloves, and digs back in a tie ball game with the go-ahead run on first base. The 1-2 is chopped up the middle to the second baseman, Menachino. He dives on the backhand. Can't make the play. It'll trickle into shallow center field. And another hit for Jacoby James. Another hit for the Express here in this 5th inning. And runners on first and second for Aaron Izquierdo, the captain of this team, with a runner on first and second base and the go-ahead run on second base. And we will see a call to the bullpen. Carter Romanski's night is done. He was stellar through the first 4, but has struggled here in the 5th as the Express have tied up. Runners on first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th when we return and see who the new pitcher will be for the Wildcats. The new pitcher for the Wildcats is Boston Reyes, the freshman from Yucaipa, California, and probably not the most ideal time to come in for your collegiate debut because there are runners on first and second with one out in the bottom of the fifth, and we are all tied at 4-4 with the dangerous Aaron Izquierdo, the captain and the backstop for the Express coming to the plate. He's already 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored in this game. Hitting over 406 games into the season as Izquierdo settles in to the righty's batter's box. With Odom off of second, James off of first, and the runners are going to go. The double steal, the throw down to third base from the catcher Venturi is wide. Goes all the way into left field, will roll all the way to the foul pole. Scoring easily is Odom after he was attempting to steal third base. Trickling up to third base is James, and we are tied no longer. The Express lead 5-4. The first time they've led in this series since the first inning of Game 2 yesterday when they led 3-0. And Izquierdo still with a prime opportunity with James 90 feet away. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball in there for a called strike to go 1-1. Izquierdo went 2 for 3 at the plate in Game 2 of yesterday's doubleheader. As the 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Venturi. Keeps it in front of him. Count goes 2-1. With a runner 90 feet away, now a 5-4 lead for the Express in the bottom of the fifth as Reyes kicks and fires. And the 2-1 is waved on and missed. Rather, the 1-2 makes it strike 3 as Izquierdo goes down swinging. Well, the positive side is that Reyes gets this strikeout on 4 pitches to the first batter that he sees in his collegiate career for the second out. Now that brings up Zach Young with a runner on third. Breaking ball low and away out of the hand of Reyes, who attended Redlands East Valley High School in California. The freshman sets and comes home 1-0. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball by Young. And it's 1-1. James off of first. With 2 outs, anything should score him as the 1-1 is skied out to deep right field. Giving chase towards the foul pole is Liddy, and just inside of the chalk, a few feet in front of the pole, he reels it in to make the catch and retire the side. 1 runner left on base, but 4 runs come across in the inning for the Express, highlighted by the RBI triple by Chris McLean. And Wells now leads 5-4 as we head to the top of the 6th. Well, Mason Smith's day is done for the Express as he is relieved of his duties by Zach Kroc, the junior from Newfield, New York, who comes into this game with the first lead of the day for the Express, who lead 5-4 after a 4 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning, highlighted by the RBI triple from Chris McLean. Additional RBIs coming from Zach Odom and Jacoby James. 5-4, Wells leads in the top of the 6th. There's the first pitch in there to Derek Menachino, who skies this one deep center field. The center fielder Odom ranging back towards the warning track in dead center and tracks it down on a deep fly ball for out number 1. And you bring in, if you're the Express, your top arm in the bullpen now that you've got the lead. Cronk has been nothing but stellar this season. 5 innings of work, and he is yet to allow a run, allowing only 3 hits. Actually pitched in Game 1 of this series against the Wildcats. 2.2 shutout innings of work. First pitch is a fastball in there for a called strike. And now the 1-1 to the leadoff man in Parker Wing is skied out to deep right center field. Odom again ranging to his left in front of the warning track. A few steps, settles under it to make the play for out number 2. And what do you know? Cronk has come in and he's immediately shut down the bats of the Wildcats on a pair of fly balls to center field. Ryan Pelton now digs in from the right side against the right-hander in Cronk, who quickly comes home with the first pitch. Breaking ball low and away in the dirt. Pelton 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI single back in the second. And he's got himself a hot start to the season for the sophomore. As Cronk comes home with the 0-1. Another breaking ball low and away. As Cronk, the junior from Newfield, comes home with the 2-0. This time drops a breaking ball that nips the inside corner for a called strike. Makes it 2-1. Quickly back with the ball on the rubber, on the left side of the rubber, with the black glove in front of his face. Now comes home, gets a swing and a miss on the slider to even it up at 2. Battling back in the count. Mason Smith retired 3 straight in the 5th. Can Cronk do it himself in relief in the 6th? Here it is, the 2-2. Breaking ball lined off the facing of the Poly dugout on the third base side. Pelton was early on the breaking ball. Ahead of it off the third base dugout. And we'll do the 2-2 again. With 2 outs, here it is. Breaking ball just outside to make the count full. Cronk was 3 steps to the left towards the Wells dugout off the mound. Was looking for the call there on the low outside corner, but instead we'll do the payoff. Breaking ball, laced foul down the left field line and over top of the Wildcats dugout. A fun battle. 7th pitch coming between Cronk and Pelton. Who will win it? Pelton grounds this one up the middle for a base hit. Both the second baseman Odom and the shortstop Campy were sliding behind the second base bag, trying to prevent that ball from making its way to the outfield, but unsuccessful as it trickles just in between them. And that will bring up Carter Romansky, the pitcher, who stayed in this game as the designated hitter for the Wildcats. First pitch he sees off speed low and away. Why don't we give you the final line on Romansky while he's at the plate, as the book is now closed after Boston Reyes came in and allowed the run on the wild pitch, as the fastball outside makes it 1-1. Pickoff attempt over at first, back with a dive is Pelton. 4 1/3 for Romansky, 7 hits, 5 runs allowed with 1 strikeout. As the 1-1 from Cronk is a fastball outside. And 5 hits and 4 runs coming in the 6th inning, coming in the 5th inning, I should say, for the Wildcats as Romansky skies the 2-1 down the third base side and out of play. Evens it up at 2. As Cronk gives the nod, comes set. Peers over to first base at Pelton. Now comes home. And the 2-2 is skied into shallow center field. It'll be the second baseman in Max Odom, who ranges out a few steps back into the green turf of the outfield in shallow right center, I should say, to make the play and retire the side. Working around a 2-out single is Kronk in relief. Express lead 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on AMCC TV. Back in the bottom of the 6th, 5-4. Express lead in 6, 7, 8, starting off with A.J. Campy, due up for Wells. And back out onto the mound is Boston Reyes for the Wildcats. The righty kicks and delivers the first pitch to the righty, Campy, who fouls the first pitch down the right field line and out of play. Reyes came in with runners on second and third and 1 out with the game-tying run, the go-ahead run, on third base. Last inning is the 0-1, is popped foul again on the right side of the infield over the Wells dugout and out of play. And got 2 quick outs, did throw a wild pitch that allowed a run to score. Doesn't go on his ledger, goes on Carter Romanski, who finishes his day with 5 earned runs as the 0-2 to Campy is lined through the left side of the infield and the 6-hole for a base hit. Stay hot, A.J. Campy. Leadoff single in the 6th. And that'll bring up Alan Compress. But after the wild pitch scored Zach Odom, completely settling down was Reyes. Getting a strikeout of Izquierdo and a flyout by Zach Young. As Compress in from the right side. First pitch he sees, breaking ball, bounces off his calf. Or did it? He took a few steps down, threw the bat towards the dugout, took a few steps down the first base line like it hit him. Get back here, says the home plate umpire. Compress digs back in from the right side. It's just a 1-0 count. And here is the 1-0. Swing and a line drive out to deep left field. That'll reach the wall in the corner on a few hops. Getting the wave around third base is Campy. The throw home on the relay, not in time. It's an RBI double for Alan Compress. Second extra base hit of the game. And Compress is now 5 for 6 to start his season with 4 doubles and 2 RBIs. Earning his way a spot in the starting lineup today for the first time this season, and he has delivered. 2 for 3, pair of doubles, RBI. What a job by Alan Compress. As John Valinotti digs in. First pitch he sees, grounded sharply to the third baseman Pelton, who dives to his left, makes the throw across the diamond, and that will take the first baseman Walker off the bag. That'll be an E6, an E5, as Pelton with the wide throw up the first base line towards the foul pole. And the first 3 runners of the inning have reached. Now runners on first and second for Chris McLean, who had an RBI triple just an inning ago. Here's the first pitch to McLean. Breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike on the inside corner. Makes it 0-1. McLean walked in addition to that triple. Hot start to the season off the bench for the Express. Now he shows bunt. Drops the curveball back. It's a few feet right towards the pitcher. And Reyes, who picks it up, throws on to first for the out. But both runners move up a station. Valinotti is second. Compressed at third. And 2 runners in scoring position for the top of the order for the Express, starting off with Max Odom. Odom 0 for 2 with a sac fly on the day. With 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch breaking ball low and away. Makes it 1-0. As Reyes sets and delivers. Fastball just inside for a ball. To go 2-0. Max, coming off a stellar season last year, takes a breaking ball in there for a called strike on the outside corner. He was the sole player to play in all 38 games for the Express last year. Led the team in hits, doubles, triples, homers, runs, RBIs. Every offensive category virtually, as he skies the 2-1 out to shallow left center. Coming in is the center fielder in Johnson, who calls off the left fielder Marone. Tagging from third is Compress. He'll get in easily. Cut off goes to second base, where Valinotti stays right there. And that's another sac fly for Max Odom, his second of the game. And the Express extend the lead now to 7-4. 3-run lead for Wells. Now with 2 outs and Zach Odom in from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Skied out to deep right field. Off the bat of Odom towards the foul pole. Ranging and unable to make the play in foul territory is Liddy. Almost missed it just to the right of the foul pole in play, where the fencing kind of jets out at a 45-degree angle towards the dugout in a very tough spot to make a play. And a fence that's only probably 3 feet tall as well. Tough to maneuver it. Liddy can't make the catch. And it's a long strike 0-1 on Zach Odom. Here it is. Breaking ball. Grounded on the right side of the infield. It'll be the second baseman. Manicino picks it up, ranging to his left. Throws onto first to retire the side, but not before 3 more runs come in this inning with the RBI double, by Alan Compress and the sac fly from Max Odom. 7-4, Wells on top as we head to the top of the 7th. Back in the top of the 7th, Ethan Walker leads it off for the Wildcats. Wells on top 7-4 after a 2 spot in the 6th. RBI double from Alan Compress, sac fly from Max Odom. As the first pitch is dribbled on the left side of the infield towards the Wildcats dugout and out of play. On the foul ball, makes it 0-1. And a fastball just inside makes it 1-1. Another fastball out makes it 2-1 by Zach Kronk in his second inning of work. Allowed one hit in a scoreless sixth inning of work. That one fouled back to make it 2-2, and Kronk, working rather quickly, comes home. Breaking ball just inside brings us to a full count. Here it is, the payoff. Breaking ball low and away for ball 4. So Ethan Walker works a leadoff walk here in the top of the 7th. And Ethan Marone will dig in. 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, including an RBI and a fielder's choice. First pitch he sees, breaking ball low and away. Final line for Mason Smith, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs with 4 strikeouts. As the 1-0 is skied out to deep center field. Odom, ranging to his left towards the wall, reaches over the shoulder to make a very nice play in the right center field gap. Deep hit by Marone out towards the corner, but Zach Odom, tracks it down for out number 1.
29 is pinch hitting.
And looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here for the Wildcats, as first pitch is laced into center field, and that's down for a base hit. The pinch hitter was Will Orlando, who comes into this game for Brady Liddy, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And the pinch hit pays off. First pitch single. Ryan Stevens will take the ball from Zach Kronk, and that will do it for Kronk. In 2 1/3 of relief, he leaves with runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. We'll be back momentarily. Noah Warner is the new pitcher for the Express. He enters this game with runners on first and second and 1 out, with the 7-hitter Anthony Venturi digging in from the right side. First pitch he sees is skied out to deep center field, and it'll be Zach Odom ranging a few steps back to his left. Makes the play. No tag from Walker, who was on second base. Just a tad too shallow. And one pitch by Warner and one quick out Warner's pitched in 3 games this season, 3 total innings, and is yet to allow a run, allowing only 1 hit, which came in 2/3 of an inning against the Wildcats in Game 2 yesterday. So pitching in back-to-back games, Warner's the first pitch up and in to Kurt Johnson, the freshman, who's 1 for 2. Singled and scored a run back in the 4th as the Express lead 7-4. Warner's 1-0. Breaking ball dished outside. Makes it 2-0. Warner, a freshman from Canisteo, New York. Sets, peeks over to second. Now delivers. This one skied out to deep right field, giving Chase Valinoti towards the foul pole. Slides and makes the play. Very nice sliding catch by Valinoti, ranging towards the foul pole. And only took 4 pitches for 2 outs on flyouts after Warner entered this ball game. It's 7-4 Express as we head to the bottom of the 7th on AMCC TV. Back in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-4-5 due up for the Express, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats as Pauley trails 4-7. And the new pitcher is Samuel Velasquez, the senior from Broadalbin, New York, making his first appearance of the season. And Jacoby James steps into the right-handed batter's box, takes the first pitch, called strike on the outside corner. James 1 for 3 on the day with a single back in the 5th inning, where 3 runs came across for the Express, who currently lead by 3. As the right-handed Velasquez kicks and deals the 0-1. Checked swing on a breaking ball low by Velasquez. Going around, getting a piece of it actually on the check swing for a foul ball is James. And it's 0-2. Velasquez kicks and deals. The 0-2 fastball up and in. 27 career innings pitched in 15 games, including 1 start for Velasquez over his 3 prior seasons at Pauley. 10.67 ERA. As the 1-2. Swing and a drive. Deep left field and foul. Towards the parking lot to the left of the foul pole. And it stays 1-2. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. James goes down looking. One batter, one strikeout in the 2024 season for Velasquez in relief. And Aaron Izquierdo will step up. Book is closed on Boston Reyes now, who went 2 innings in relief, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with 2 punch-outs. And the first pitch, Aaron Izquierdo in from the right side is low for a ball. Izquierdo 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored back in the second. Run which got the scoring started on the day for the Express. As the 1-0. Fastball up and in towards the chin. Makes it 2-0. Velasquez deals the 2-0. And inside, 3 straight balls to the Express captain and backstop in Aaron Izquierdo, who's got a hit in each game so far this season for the Express. 3-0. Fastball in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. "19 innings last year on the mound with 12 strikeouts and 24 earned runs for Velasquez. As the 3-1 is drilled out to deep left field. Going back towards the warning track is Marone. He looks up. Bye-bye baseball. Aaron Izquierdo with his 2nd homer of this season. And the Express tack another on the scoreboard. 8-4, just like that. 2nd hit of the game for Izquierdo, who stays blazing hot after a 2-hit game yesterday. And the Express keep on pouring it on after an early deficit. They were down 4-1 in the 4th inning. And just like that, they're ahead 4 runs. With 1 out, stepping up to the plate is Zach Young. First pitch is lined right at the shortstop and wing for out number 2.
It's just so quiet. You can barely hear it.
And that brings up A.J. Campy, the freshman, for Aaron Izquierdo. That's his 4th career homer. First pitch breaking ball away to Campy. Izquierdo with a homer his sophomore, junior, and now 2 in his senior year already. Just 7 games in, where he's hitting almost 400. 1-0 is skied on the right side of the infield foul territory. Looks like that one will make the seats, rather the green grass, out of play over the Wells dugout. Izquierdo, a pair of extra base hits on the day. Is the 1-1 to Campy. Fastball skips in the dirt. Goes 2-1. Campy, the sole freshman in the lineup. 3 sophomores in the lineup in McLean, Compress, and James. There's the 2-1. Is laced out to right center field. That'll get down for a base hit and split the outfielders. Rolling all the way to the wall. Big turnaround second base for Campy. He'll hold up right there with a 2-out stand-up double. Offensive display continues for the Express. That's the 2nd hit of the game for Campy. And 2 outs up by 4. The Express with Alan Compress, who's doubled in his last 2 plate appearances, stepping up to the dish. Velasquez sets and fires home. First pitch called strike on the outside corner to Compress. Had an RBI double in the 6th and scored a run. Had a double scored run in the 5th. Great start for the sophomore on the year. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball waved on and missed. Make it 0-2. Compress has been retired only 1 time so far this season, as he is 5 for 6, getting his first start today after 3 pinch hit opportunities over the first 5 games for the Express. Here's the 0-2. Fastball low and away. Wide jump off second base for Campy, who retreats back to the bag. Here in the bottom of the 7th, 8-4 the score. The Express on top. Still a runner in scoring position as the 1-2 is roped out to right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Scoring is Campy as he gets the wave. And up at first base, another RBI hit for Alan Compress. 3 for 4 as of now with a pair of RBIs on the day. As Campy scores for the second time today. 9-4, Express on top. John Valinotti digs in. First pitch to Valinotti, breaking ball upstairs. Makes it 1-0. As Velasquez comes home, fastball low. Compress with good wheels off of first base. Scored on a wild pitch in the 5th. Just beating the throw from the catcher Venturi to Romansky. Pickoff attempt over at first, back to the dive is Compress. Action in both the Express and Wildcat bullpens. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and a runner on first. Fastball called strike on the outside corner to Valinotti. 2 for 3 on the day. A pair of singles, also reached on an error in the 6th. As the 2-1 runner goes, can't be handled by the catcher Venturi. So in without a throw is Compress, who swipes yet another bag on the season. His second in 2 attempts. And in scoring position just like that with a 3-1 count. Raises the stakes of this at-bat as the 3-1 to Valinotti is skied out to shallow right center field. It'll be the right fielder coming over a few steps to his right and making the play, Liddy, to retire the side, but not before 2 runs come in on the RBI single from Alan Compress and the solo homer from Aaron Izquierdo. 9-4, Wells leads as we head to the 8th.
For your Express in the bottom of the 7th,
Noah Warner back out onto the mound for the Express, who now lead 9-4 after a 2-spot in the bottom of the 7th for the Express. The solo homer from Aaron Izquierdo and the RBI single from Alan Compress as Warner kicks and fires the first pitch to Derek Medicino The 9-hitter is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Mendocino 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored so far in this ball game. As Warner kicks and fires the 0-1. Off speed waved on and missed at the bottom of the zone by Mendocino. Just like that, 0-2. As Warner came in with 1 out in the 7th. Got the final 2 outs over 3 batters. 0-2. Breaking ball, low and away to make it 1-2 now on the freshman second baseman. There's the righty Warner from can of steel. Winds and deals. 1-2. Breaking ball is dribbled foul down the right field line beyond the Express dugout on the first base side. And the count will stay right there. As Warner rocks, delivers. Breaking ball up and in. Slipping out of his hand well over the head of Mendocino. And the count goes even. As Warner fires the 2-2. Fastball low away, skips in the dirt to the backstop. And Mendocino is battled back to work this count full. Here comes the payoff pitch from the righty. Fastball grounded, left side of the infield. Diving in the shortstop hole is Campy. Gets up with it, but by the time he looks up and stares over at first, Mendocino is already well past the first base bag with an infield single. James initially was making his way over to the 6 hole, trying to potentially glove that baseball, but couldn't get there. And the infield single represents the 12th hit of the day for the Wildcats, but obviously only 4 runs across, as Wells leads 9-4. 0-1 breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike to Parker Wing. It's 0-2. Wing reaching base 3 times today, hit by pitch, walk, and an RBI single back in the 4th. Here's the 0-2. It's line into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Moving up to second base is Mendocino, and second hit of the day for Parker Wing.
Now batting for the Wildcats, number 15, Ryan Pelton.
Ryan Pelton will step up to the plate. He's 3 for 4 with 3 singles and an RBI, with runners on first and second. And no outs. Warner's pitch. Off speed. Nicks the bottom of the zone for a called strike. Setting, peeking over at second, delivering. Warner breaking ball low and away. Pelton lifting the bat off his shoulder. Almost offered it. The pitch did not go around. And it's 1-1. Here's the offering from Warner. Breaking ball low and in. Warner, as we mentioned when he came into this game, is still yet to allow a run this season. As Pelton skies this one on the right side of the infield. It's Young behind the first base bag, takes a few steps back, and settles under it to make the catch for out number 1. Much needed first out for Warner after allowing back-to-back singles to start off this inning.
Now batting number 14, Carter Romansky.
Brings up Carter Romansky. Hitless on the day. Over 4. Was the starting pitcher in this game. And right now is in line to earn the loss. Takes a fastball outside. After Romansky had a great first day of this series, where he was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs at the plate. Fastball well up and out. Out of the hand of Warner. Makes it 2-0. As Warner sets. Peers over to second. Comes home. And that one a fastball in there for a called strike. Just on the outside corner to the lefty Romansky. Coming set now. The pitch, grounded through the right side of the infield for a base hit, getting the stop side at third base is Manicino. So everybody moves up the station on the single from Romanski, his first hit of the day. And that brings up the dangerous Ethan Walker with the bases juice after 3 singles in the first 4 batters to start off the inning. And Ryan Stevens will take the walk out to the mound. Haven't seen Cam Heyman in relief this series so far. He's the closer. Do you bring him in for 5 outs here? Haven't seen who it's been warming in the bullpen for the Express, but someone's been up and down the last couple of innings. Stevens still talking things over on the bump. And Warner will stay in this ball game. You got to imagine that's the plan. You wait for Warner to go as long as he can until you bring in Heyman. Who's got himself a save and a win. I should say a close and a win already on the season. Here's the first pitch to Walker. In there for a call and strike on the outside corner. Walker's reached base all 4 times to the plate today. A pair of walks, a single, and an RBI double, which came back in the first. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swatted foul down the right field line. Warner now sets. 0-2. Fastball in the dirt, blocked by Izquierdo. One, two. The pitch, breaking ball, called. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Second out comes via the chair. First for Warner in the game. Ethan Marone steps up with 2 outs. 1 away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. First pitch, hit him. Fastball off the back of Marone. So Manicino comes home. And the base is juiced now with Marone on first, Romanski off second, Wing off third. And now Ryan Stevens will take the trot back out to the mound. And looks like that may be it. 2 outs, bases loaded in the top of the 8th inning. And we'll see who the new pitcher is when we return on AMCC TV. Well, the new pitcher for the Express is Cameron Heyman, the junior transfer from Washington and Jefferson College. He's pitched in 2 games so far this season, 3 total innings, 1 run allowed on 1 hit with 4 punch-outs. And he enters with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 9-5 ball game with the tying run at the plate in the form of Brody Liddy. The first pitch is lined into right field and right to the right fielder, Valinotti. So 1 pitch and 1 out, and the inning is completed. 1 run comes across, but aside on the hit batsman, but aside from that, nothing working. Bases left loaded, and we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Back in the bottom of the 8th, final chance for Wells to tack on some insurance. 9-5, the Express lead. And Chris McLean will lead it off. Takes the first pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. New pitcher for the Wildcats, Nick Rychik, the freshman from Ballston Spa, New York, making his collegiate debut. And the 0-1 fastball just inside to McLean to make it 1-1. McLean has had a strong day overall. Made a couple of nice plays, including a diving catch to save a couple of runs in left field as he takes a fastball just inside. Narrowly missing his backside to make it 2-1. Couple nice plays in the field, a sac bunt, RBI triple, and a walk, in addition to a run scored as a fastball outside. Evens it up at 2-2 from Rychik. At the belt, he delivers the 2-2. Breaking ball. Got a piece on it. McLean did. Fouls it over the backstop and out of play to keep the count even. As Rychik delivers. Breaking ball. Cold. Strike 3 on the inside corner. So the first batter that Rychik sees in his collegiate career sits down via the backwards chair. And the top of the order comes to the plate now, and Max Odom for Wells, who's got himself a pair of RBIs today on 2 sac flies, but is yet to reach base. First pitch. Fastball just upstairs. Goes 1-0. On what's turned into a beautiful day in Aurora with sunny skies. And he's a 1-0 fastball in there for a called strike on the outside corner. After a cold, rainy game 1 and 2 of the series yesterday in the doubleheader. Much nicer conditions today. As the breaking ball, 1-1, makes it 1 and 2. Gets the call strike on the inside corner. Wells looking to tack some insurance on the board. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. The dominance of the curveball early on from Nick Rychik. He's got 2 strikeouts to the first 2 batters he sees at the collegiate level. And Zach Odom will step up from the right side. Zach 1 for 4 on the day with a single and a run scored. Takes the fastball upstairs towards the eyes. Goes 0-1. Zach with 11 RBIs in the season as he takes the fastball in for a ball to make it 2-0. Highlighted by a 6 RBI performance in Game 1 of the season versus Clark Summit. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball inside makes it 3-0 on Zach, who entered today hitting .417 through 6 games in the season. Here's the 3-0. Fastball just outside for ball 4. And after 2 straight punch-outs, 2-out walk to Zach Odom, and Jacoby James will get another chance at the dish. Jacoby James right now has his only game of the season where he only has 1 hit. He's had at least 2 in every game this season. He's 1 for 4 with a pair of punch-outs on the day. First pitch, fastball in there for a called strike. James with a few nice plays at the hot corner as well for the Express. As Rychik fires, and breaking ball low and away makes it 1-1. Another stellar weekend at the plate for James. I don't know about Conference Player of the Week as it was last, but 1-1. Checked his swing, got a piece of it on a foul ball that trickles towards the Poly dugout on the third base side. As the Express looking to take the 3rd game of the series and prevent the sweep after the Wildcats took both games of the doubleheader to start off the series yesterday. Rychik sets and delivers. Runners off, and it's a called strike. Another stolen base for Zach Odom, his 4th of this season. As the pitch, fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Rung him up, 3 strikeouts in the inning. In the collegiate debut for Nick Rychik, it's still 9-5. 4 runs on top are the Express, and 3 outs left to go for Cam Heyman. Pinch hitters to start off the top of the ninth inning. Cam Heyman needs 3 outs to finish the job and get the victory. First pitch fouled out of play down the right field line. And the first pinch hitter of the inning is Quinn Hill, getting his first collegiate at-bat, the freshman from Bayport, New York. As Cam Heyman looks to lock down yet another save. Been dominant in his first 2 relief outings of this season. As the 0-1 breaking ball drops in there for a called strike on the inside corner. So 0-2 the count on Hill as Heyman sets and delivers. Another breaking ball. This one chopped down the third base line and foul just to the left of the bag. And the backhand stab attempt from James. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Heyman sets with the black glove at the letters. Comes home 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Doesn't get a chase from Hill. Down by 4 of the Wildcats. Looking for a freshman spark here in the ninth. Breaking ball. Just slowing in to even it up at 2. Even at 2s. Heyman's pitch. Fastball fouled down the right field line out of play. And a good at-bat being put up by the freshman Hill in his first at-bat. Part of a freshman class that Paul Ludden is ecstatic about in terms of their future. As the 2-2 again. This one shot into shallow center. Odom coming in as the shortstop McLean coming out. Shortstop can't be coming out, excuse me. Neither of them can make the play. Falls right in between them. And a leadoff single for Hill here in the ninth.
Next up for the Wildcats, number 1, Lucas Dubinsky.
Another pinch hitter for the Wildcats. It's going to be Lucas Dubicki, the sophomore from Glen Cove, New York, getting his first licks of the season. First pitch. Fastball just upstairs to make it 1-0. Heyman with dominant outings against SUNY Canton in the doubleheader, as well as Clark Summit in game 1 of the season out of the bullpen. Gets the called strike on the off speed to make it 1-1. Heyman, the transfer from Washington and Jefferson College out in Pittsburgh. There's the 1-1. Another breaking ball, and that one's off the backside of Dubicki. Takes his base on the hit by pitch. It's the third Wildcat to be hit by a pitch today, and there is runners on first and second. We'll have another pinch hitter, as it's now Zach Place from Scotia Glenville, New York. Another freshman getting his first career at bat, stepping in. Here's the first pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner. And that puts the tying run potentially in the on-deck circle for the Wildcats. After the hit batsman in the single. Here's the 0-1 from Heyman. Breaking ball off the helmet of Place. Back-to-back hit batsmen, and 3 straight runners have reached. The tying run comes to the plate in the form of Parker Wing. Izquierdo is going to take the slow walk out to the mound to meet with his arm. And Heyman, who's seen some relatively unknown early adversity, and the Express are quickly getting a pitcher up and warming in the bullpen, as Ryan Stevens is going to take his time to go out to the mound and talk things over with the infield. as well as Heyman. Ethan Zimmerman is the pitcher warming in the bullpen for the Express.
Now for SUNY Poly, number 2, Parker Wing.
13 total pitches thrown by Heyman. Between the 1-out last inning and this inning to start, as the first pitch to Wing. Called strike. Heyman, who threw 6 outs in the save versus Canton last Saturday. 0-1. Breaking ball, lined left side foul off the facing of the Wildcats dugout. On the third base side, Heyman had a 5.63 ERA last season and a 1-0 record at Washington and Jefferson, transferring over from the same program as Express pitcher Jonathan Haynes, as the 0-2 goes with the off speed and up towards the helmet of Wing, makes it 1-2. Heyman pitching against some of the top D3 talent of the nation at Washington and Jefferson, as the 1-2. Breaking ball there, got a check swing, but it'll get away from Izquierdo on his way home, and scoring is Hill after he led off the inning with a single. Moving up a station is Dubicki and Place. And it's now a 3-run game with the tying run still at the plate in a 2-2 count. Almost got him to chase with the breaking ball. Here's the 2-2. Dropped in there for called strike 3. And there it is, the backwards chair for a much-needed out number 1. And that brings up Ryan Pelton,
Next up for the Wildcats, number 15.
who's got a whole lot of power. We've already seen it on display today with 3 singles, but had a triple yesterday. And has got the home run abilities. First pitch, breaking ball dropped in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Heyman actually pitched against Johns Hopkins an inning in relief last year, allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Johns Hopkins, the number 1 team in the nation right now, is the 0-1. Is skied out to deep center field. Ranging back towards the warning track is Odom. He'll track it down. Tagging home is Johnson. He scores easily. Moving up to third base is Place. So now 1 out away is Heyman from avoiding what looked like a potential disaster over the first 3 batters of the inning.
Next up for the Wildcats, number 14, Carter Romansky.
And it'll be Carter Romansky who steps up. 1 for 4 on the day with a single in the 8th is his sole time reaching base today. First pitch from the righty, Heyman, is chopped on the left side of the infield. It's the shortstop in Kempe who backhands it on a hop, throws across the diamond, and in time to secure the victory. The Express close out this series with the 9-7 win over the Wildcats to move to 4-3 on the season. Poly takes 2 of 3 in the series, but Wells gets 1 back on the getaway day for the Wildcats, highlighted by some big-time performances on offense from Alan Compress, who went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a 2 for 4 day for AJ Campy, also a 2 for 4 day with 2 runs scored and a homer from Aaron Izquierdo. And that will round things up for Game 3 of this set and the series between the Wildcats and the Express. We'll be back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. against Hobart right here in Aurora. But signing off for today, thank you so much for tuning in. Today and throughout the course of the weekend, I've been Eli Fishman.